Welcome back to another session with the Paintology drawing app by Firdaus. So that's my name, Firdaus. But the app that I use for drawing is the Paintology. It's available from the Google Play Store. It's free, and it allows you to make traditional type drawings such as this one. This one I just completed on the Paintology channel itself. It was done on my phone and using just the line brush there, and then you can check that out. It's on the live stream tab, and in order from this, the drawing we're going to do here is actually so look my the drawing we're going to do here. Let me have a look. I'm sorry, just pulling something up. Give me a second, please. Yeah. So we're going to actually continue with our sunset river drawing, which happens to be this one. And we are going to continue with this drawing from part 1 yesterday. And you can see this is my drawing and this is the actual reference drawing. So this is to teach you our techniques. It's not so much about the digital tools, which most apps tend to focus on. It's creating fine art. Fine art is the artistic work that lends itself in the traditional medium. And when you do drawings like this with lots of you do it manually and blending. I can't believe how you can do blending and with a blending tool in digital. I can't fathom how you would do that. For fine artwork such as this, it's just too hard. You have to do it in a manual. So this drawing yesterday, I showed you how to do the sky. I laid down the block colors by picking out the tones from the reference image, and this is my drawing canvas. Picking out the tones, very simple. You just use the color picker here, and that's it. And pick out the color and then apply it to your drawing. That's it. Very simple. There's nothing complicated about that. And that is all shown in the first part of this drawing yesterday, and you can check that out. And this part today, we're gonna complete this drawing. Yeah. So just for newcomers who are new to this, let me show you something. This is the way I typically draw with my finger on this phone. And this is the phone I currently have, but I'm using a stylus because I'm getting a bit of cramp on my hands. So the stylus, a long stylus that I am able to use rather than just my fingers, so I can see more clearly what I'm doing. But you can use the finger perfectly fine, or buy a cheap stylus if you're going to draw more often, and that's easily available from Google, from eBay or Amazon. Or if you're in the States, the dollar store, yeah? So let's go here and show you. So if you go to paintology.com, here, you will go a little bit down just below the video, here, and you will see live streams, Google Classroom, Udemy. Just click on that, and then you'll come to a page, and then there you'll be able to see the reference image that I'm using to draw, yeah, like this one. You can see it. You can download this reference image and you can use it for your drawing. Okay, so we're going to go back here and then we're going to try and complete this drawing. So how far did we get? Well, we did the sky as best as we could from the time available, and you can see it's not a bad match if I flick through my drawing and that. And then we ended up doing this nice horizon that, like the building structures, which this gives it a nice appealing look. And then yeah. And then what we're going to do is do the remainder. We're going to work our way down to the river and try and get a sense of that. And it looks really complicated, but we'll work something out. That's the whole idea of drawing, is to work things out, yeah? And you don't want to be flummoxed or thinking, oh, I can't do this, because it's very easy for people to say, I can't do this. So we're going to, first of all, we're going to try and reduce the brush size. We had a large brush size, as you can see. You know, that's quite big. That lay down the tones here, as you can see. So we're gonna try and, for the river, we're gonna try and reduce the brush size and do the block coloring. So I'm gonna, we use the line, but I'm gonna keep it to, let's say, 2.7, right? 80% is the density. And then I'm just going to continue, and then notice that I have it halfway up. So if you're not familiar with tracing and the Paintology, it's very easy. It's like anything, any position of the cursor here allows you to pick the colors of the reference image. Yeah. So we're just going to use the color picker and just go and just lay down the detail color tones of that. And this really does, I'm seriously going to tell you that this really helps you to develop tones, appreciation of tones, this sort of trace method. So it really does tune your, it's the reason why I can do photorealistic drawings in digital far quicker than traditional, because I've got such a deep appreciation of tones having drawn like this. And drawing like this is so like less challenging and much more accommodating, much more like appealing, because you enjoy it more, right? Color picker. Sometimes you might pick a very light color, so just go there, see? It's quite light, and that depends on what you picked, right? Don't worry about that, just lay down the first set of colors. Yeah, look at that, look how bright that is. Right, this is what tunes your mind. I give the analogy that of how you're training your mind, right? Let's say you're interested in buying a car, right? And you have, did you see I picked that black color from there? So I need to go in a bit, yeah? There you are, see, it's simple. So let's say you were interested in buying a car. What the first thing you do is you look at that car, it's in your brain, and you think, sitting in the car, you're thinking all kinds of nice things, the comfort level, the trim, all the functions and features. And then sooner or later, your eyes can't believe it, but you see a lot of these cars on the road. All of a sudden, they've magically appeared on the road. And the reason why that is because your brain has now switched on to this model of car and this make of car. Because I know that. I mean, don't tell me you've never experienced that. That's actually a very true example, and you don't know how it works. You just accept it. But the point is that when you start drawing like this, you're actually tuning your tonal under appreciation to a high degree. And then when you come to draw, you will be much better in picking out the tones. Trust me, that's happened to me when I'm drawing photorealistically in freestyle. It just happens naturally. So that's all I'm doing, is just carrying these colors that I'm seeing, the variations, just carrying them. So that's what we've done now, and then let's just keep going through all of it here. Notice the tone change variation is very strong. This here. Just keep going, okay? Just keep going. And if the tonal variation is really high, like for example in this where the light falls on the river, then keep it tight. Keep the, like I'm doing right now, keep it very localized, okay? Like how I'm doing now. Keep it very tight. Instead of stretching it to cover the full band of the river, you want to get the tones. That's all you're interested. You're really interested in getting the tone values. That's behind this here. Okay. Just, and then pick another one and just cover that area. Pick another tone and we'll just mix. Sort of a mixing effect. And now we want to see what it looks like, right? Let's see if we've managed to get something that closely resembles more of a river than just blobs of paint on a, that's supposed to be a river, right? Just pick the color, just move with the, see the tones that are changing. Let's see what that looks like. That's, you have to admit, that's a lot better than before, right? But we can still make improvements. And the way, this is techniques, right? It's all about techniques. Let's look at that. So this is where I get really, if I want to see the details, I alternate, right? Here, here. I always alternate, so I know that I don't overstretch the, here. And then here, look, it's beautiful yellow. Right, and then keep going, don't, see that here? There, that looks like too blocky. So we just, and then we can use the blending tool here. It's very hard to see. I mean, I don't think you can see what's going on here, but it just sort of just comes up here, and then it takes on a different color here. There. And capture that different color, right? And then let's go back again. And then what do we see here? Well, it's pretty obvious that this high contrasty area needs to be worked on, right? So that's the part of the drawing step. I'm going to tell you the drawing step, which many artists don't explain, is really key to the journey of drawing, and whenever you embark on a journey. The problem is most beginners see a drawing that comes from zero and all the way to a masterpiece on YouTube, and they're just like awed by the amazement of how the artist has pulled it off. They don't realize that there's a lot of practice that went into it to achieve it, and then the practice was the techniques, development of those techniques. But more importantly, it's the drawing process. If you understand the drawing process, you will appreciate how a drawing evolves. You don't need to jump to tools that most digital artists have tends to jump to, and they do, and then they become so like how do you call it? So becomes the tools become one of the most important things they use. The heavy reliance on it, that's the word I was looking for. They become so heavily reliant on the tools that they can't do anything else outside of the tools. And the less you become reliant on the tools, the more control you have over your drawing, and hence you can make drawings like this, right? I'm not saying that those tools are not useful. They are. I'm actually a very proficient user of Photoshop, GIMP, CorelDRAW, but I would not use it for drawing. The pleasure of drawing for me is like the way I've enjoyed drawing in the traditional medium: simplicity of tools and just creating techniques, you know, and developing my own techniques. So you should be developing techniques as well. So let's take this brush down. Now I've taken it down more so I have more control over what that area region is, right? And I might even take that density down to 50%. So now I can, the density setting is just allows you, so let's see what happens with this density settings, and it allows you like a pencil. If you've seen my first part, you will see I talk about that. It gives you more control, whereas 100% here means that you have complete ink. It's like that color won't change if you put it down. It's like, think of it like an ink pen. And when you have it like 50% here, think of it like having several overlapping strokes to get to that final tone, right? So it gives you like a pencil type quality, yeah? And that's the reason why I can make photorealistic drawings with ease, yeah? Without the use of tools. All these tools that people are familiar with in digital apps. So that's why I can get away with doing one brush. So I'm just refining this area with this brush, and you'll find as your brain becomes more tuned to the way the tones are, the brain becomes more in tune. You'll find that even this size brush is too thick because you've enhanced your capability of appreciating tones at such a low level. Because you're zooming in, you can see the tones that take shape, right? This almost looks like a surface of a piece of wood, doesn't it? Right, so just do that, and then we'll work out the next set of techniques, yeah? And then we'll decide where to go next, yeah? So let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's getting better, isn't it? I believe it is. So now here, now let's look at this bit here. Now I've got all these tiny bits, and the brush size you have probably isn't going to work, but let's try and refine it. Look, I'm following the horizontal, just color picker it, just color picker. Remember, we're at 50%, 45%, but we could probably go less, but let's just take out that harsh area and sort of blend it. This is a form of blending. Take out the harsh areas and do the dark patches here. And Definitely looks like a piece of wood, honestly. Okay, so here, just, alright, let's see what we have here now. Let's sort of done a little bit of work, and now let's see here. Let's take our focus attention away and use the small brush to add the details up here, right? So got that, the darker, and this light region, and then this region here, and then some yellow-ish here, and then this sort of, right, okay, there. And you can see the brush is, to me, it's beginning to feel that I'm not getting the detail I want. I probably need to change the brush and change the density, but let's see what we've achieved. Yeah, we've achieved some level of detail, and then let's carry on up to that estuary with the, the where the meets the land. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see what we have here. It's a little bit better, isn't it? And then we can see that up here we need to do some work on there. And again, I'm stubbornly sticking to this brush, and I don't have to, but I feel that, for the sake of speed, the larger the brush set, the quicker your speed of work will be, okay? Just keep that in mind. So we can always go to a smaller brush size. That's not a problem. But if you start off with too small, you may find yourself working for a long time on a particular area, and we don't want to do that. We want to make rapid, quick progress and get away with it. Right? Seems like a good thing, isn't it? Let's shift our focus away from the the thing, and then let's finish off the. Let's see if we've finished off that there's the nature on the left side and the right side, the dark area. See if we need to do anything on that. I'm not very happy with this, so I'm taking my attention away. I'm going to show you something here, and then we go to a smaller brush, and let's pick whatever that is. This is not working for me, so I'm going to try and change that. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to add those tiny lights of the cables. So we want to take it down even further, and that, if we've got the color on our palette, use that. If not, I'm trying to pick this color. Let's see if that works. Nope. I'll pick another color. That's too thick as well. So do we have something that we can do here? Let's see what that does. Yep, that works. So I've got there, there. Let's see if that works. Yes, it's given a sense of light there, and now we can see here, although this looks a little too, to me, I'm still not happy. If you're not happy with something, just add whatever that you think is going to work. And you know what, I'm going to take that away here. Just add Remember, this is your drawing. You can do whatever you feel like. Right? I'm just following my own sort of creativity and trying to make this look, have a sense of realism, more of a realism than it has now, and see if that works, right? If not, we'll come back and do something else. Yes, that's taken on, that adds a form of realism. I'm going to take that, that keeps bugging me, so I'm going to take that down. Right, right there, look at that, that's good, isn't it? So just add a bit more here. Right, perfect, isn't it? Yes. So now we're going to go here, and then I'm just going to take that dark area that wasn't quite working. And then now we could move back to our river, and then we're going to work on that sun. You can see the sun here, and I'm going to finish off that with that sun, but let's finish off the river. So I'm going to save this, and then so now there's quite a few. I mean, I'm not turning to tools to do this. I'm going to say to myself, how can I get what I'm looking for here, right, on the river? What can I do to get that? Notice those ripples, right? Let's try and capture those ripples with the smaller brush, and that's the smallest brush we can think of, right? And then let's keep it at, and then let's pick a brown color, see if we pick that, and then let's see if that works. Look, it's just way too thick, so what I'm going to do is way too dense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the density. Look at that, I've got it at like 11%. And then let me just look at my drawing and then keep switching it. Okay, I'm going to keep switching it, trying to get the effect I'm looking for. Right, it's got to be like straight strokes, right? Give the illusion. Like there. Okay. Well, straight strokes. Anything's better than this orange blob, isn't it? That, right, just straight. Even this one has the slight haze. So I can take the density down even more for this area, because this is, it shines a lot in the area. So we can do that, okay? Not too much. And then take that same stroke and then see if we can, and then take this color here and see if we can take that density up. Let's see if we can add it to this side. Right. Well, that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to play with it and see if we can bring a sense of reflection that's going on there. You know, just the idea of reflections. And then pick the color palette. Okay. It's a bit darker on this side. Right. See that? It's more darker. So I'm just picking up the, trying to, you know, it's really detailed obviously, but I want to get away with it doing the minimum. And what can I do? Let's see what we have here. It's very more on this side. Notice that there's more of that dark patch on this side. And then I could increase the density. You see, it's all about techniques, right? Nothing to do with tools. You're just seeing, you're applying this to your drawing based on technique, right? I make that mistake of picking that. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Right, see that? There's a darker color. Just, well, then you might need to increase the density again. Right, right. Then you look at that. Then you can see it's more of a dark tone because of the shadows falling on that. Right, good. And what have we got here? Well, we've got some this going on here. It's like a form of blending, isn't it? Right, then we have here, look at that, so dark. And then we could say, we've got a darker color on our palette. And then we can say, let's take this really, grab those real, that gives the illusion that there is, right? Then even darker, look. Right? Look at that. And then we can use that as well to control how dark. And do we have any dark here? Yeah, we have dark here and dark here. So give the illusion, just gives the illusion. And then let's see what we have, shall we? Check. It's getting better, isn't it? Definitely a lot better. Now you can see that in the next step, we've got this patch here, right here. We don't want that, right? So we'll take that and say, you better disappear, mate, because you don't belong here. So, okay, here. Well, then just see what it's doing here. And then I'll take that down just to give that luminosity, right? Right there. Then we get that lovely yellow haze. So this is where you have the density control. The density allows you to control how much luminosity you want in that area. Sorry, if you don't know what luminosity is, worth reading about it. Okay, here. What about here? We've got that. So now I'm gonna take this back a little bit. Then we got that lovely brown that just creeps into that area, right? And then what have we got here? So we got this yellow, so we can pick the color and take more of this out, right? So it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And then use that color to blend that. So again, I'm just following something that looks good. And what we got? See that bright? Get that bright as well. We can get that brightness. See this brightness? Let's pick them out, right? Why not? Gives that shimmering look. Yes, a shimmering look. And then increase the... Okay. I swear it looks like a piece of the surface of a wood. Right, not too much, just just enough. Let's see what it looks like. That's a big improvement, you've got to admit, isn't it? So here we can see that here we could still improve on this. Yeah. So that here, take the density down and pick that color tone here. So just bring that density down. So it looks like it's not like a choppy. It looks like it's part of the original image here. So here. Okay, now have we got anything else we can do? Yeah, we could probably move some of that yellow. Thank goodness we got that yellow here. So we can move some of that yellow here. Do we have anything? So that yellow's just streaking in, and then this white is let's have a look there, white. So here, white, okay. Then we got that ripple of the black. Isn't that black there? Let's bring that there, look. There, this ripple starts from the right side. All right, so then we have, oh wow, look at that. So we can do the same thing that we've done, just, and then keep adjusting the density. Yeah, look at that. There's a lot of darks and blacks going on. And then if you're not getting it, just increase the density, because we're now at a different contrasty color, right? Here. Look at that. So we could perhaps increase the density and make it dark. We've got a very dark color, but we probably need a bit more darker on that. Okay. So again, I tried to pick a dark color by picking that spot. So here. That's there. Let's see what that looks like. I'm using the horizontal stroke of that. Let's see what it looks like. It's a huge improvement, isn't it? You've got to admit, that's a big improvement. So again, now you can see, let's take a look at this for a second. So what you can see here is that since we've reached this step in the drawing, now you can see clearly that the next step of the work that needs to be done, right? It's this part here, right? You can see that's like sticking out like a sore thumb, and then we're going to do the same thing, right? We've got this color, this color here. Gonna just make it where, and if the density is too much, right, just decrease it, but just make sure you've got, use it where you can, where you think it should apply, right? that dark setting, right? Now you can see that we're going to bring down the density, and we're going to, I've never worked with them, sorry, I've never worked with this light, such a light color. There's a brown there. Such small brushes. It's like, it's been rare since I worked with such a tiny brush. I think it's only photorealistic drawing I get down to that level, but in this case, it's like, there, can you see? It's like that, just, even let that, there, just keep doing it like I'm doing here. And you may probably have a better technique, so if you're welcome to text me, well, comment and let me know what you've managed to achieve or pull off. Now we've fixed this bit as well, which looked too uniform, right? And then we're going to do the same. Right there. Okay. Right. Alright, so we've managed to merge that in, and then we can see we need some of that orange that's going to come into play here. So just give the illusion of, and then I'm now using a different kind of a stroke, just giving the illusion that it's not just a straight streak of line. So there's some orange there, there's some grey. Yeah, so I'm going to try and do something interesting here. You've seen that I've tried to take the brush size and just give it some color there. Let's have a look. And then we can do the same here to just merge. No, we leave it. So let's see what that looks like. Wow, it's coming up nicely. And then you can see there's a slight merge here needed. See how you tune your brain into this kind of thinking. Just going to take it really down, and then just try and do that. This is where you can improve your tone, understanding of tones, right? There, look at that. We almost achieved, isn't it? And now you can see that we have these two strands here, and we can somehow improve on that, isn't it? So this is something I haven't done. I mean, last time I did it was a couple of years ago, I think, when I tried to do a sunset, a beach scene where the water was turbulent and needed to create this. So there's that uniformity here. So what can we do? Well, let's take this down and pick this color here, and let's stretch this color out, right? And then if it's not working, increase the density. Let's take this color out so it blends somehow, so it doesn't leave that sort of artificial edge. Yeah. And then what can we do here? Let's have a look. There, it's very dark, so we could take this color and then just well, I'm gonna merge you in. You're quite dark there, right? So this is with the bigger brush. You notice that? Because again, time constraint. I'm trying to keep. Let's see what we have. Well, we've got that the darkness going on here, and then we can take that. We've got more dark here. We do have a bit more dark there. So what we can do is take it down, increase it, and then apply more dark to this. This is where your appreciation of tones really escalates, enhances if you're able to do this. So this is all practice. You can really practice and get good at this. Right, so here, right, and then do we have something light here? We've got a sort of a hazy light area on this side. Then we could maybe increase it down a little bit. Right, then just then following the lines of the river, right? The strokes, right? Look, keeping it very horizontal. Right there. Get the illusion that there's you capture the dark elements there, and then you can increase the hardness here and get more dark. Yeah, and then pick a darker color and just gradually feed it to that, giving that illusion darkness. If it's too dark, you just take away from it. This is something you cannot do easily with. And look what we have here. It's a bit light, so maybe we'll stretch this light a little bit. Haze, right? So I don't know what I'm doing. It's just my way of trying to get the right proper shades. That's all I'm doing. Right? Let's have a look what we look. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it what we achieved with such little effort? Could you do that digitally? I doubt it. Anyway, so digitally meaning, would you be able to use digital tools? You have to use these manual tools, I'm afraid. So let's, the manual way, techniques, the real techniques. So let's get a color palette. And remember, we got a pretty dark size there, so we can increase that. Let's see, always check the image. Look at that, it's very dark streaks going on. So I'm keen to increase the color and then see if that, and I'm also increase the density as well. Right, so I'm just playing with the density. Let's see, look at that, just like real dark streaks there. Right here, look at that, dark streaks. Let's put more dark streaks here, right? Yes, quite a lot of dark streaks here. Wow. So here we could just because I saw that as I looked at it again, you may not have seen it, but I saw these coming up. This is where your appreciation of, am I doing anything like complicated in terms of, I can also increase the density so I can get really into some of the dark areas and just enhance the tonal values, like in some cases here, right? Look here, like there, can you see it? Yeah, giving the illusion of volume, right there. So what do we have? We've got here, we've got some very light areas. So we can see, ooh, this is way too thick, right? So now you know what to do, right? So yeah, just look at all these little ripples that I'm going to add there, giving the illusion, right? Nothing more. Am I doing like copying exits, everything? No. Look, the illusion. Look at that. Ooh, that's quite dense. So I'm going to take that down even more in density, right? And the reason why it shows up a lot is because it's on a dark background. So you need to take that down, and then let's see if that works. Yes, look at that, perfect. And then you can always build it up, right? I'm quite enjoying this actually. I hope you too. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh wow, isn't that amazing, isn't it? We've almost got an actual river that looks great, but look at this, it stands like a sore thumb. Again, I'm going to go and explain the drawing process. See, as you get to that level, what stands out? It's pretty obvious that this is okay, this area here. I'm going to pick a dark color here. This area is okay, I think. Although I feel like I need to merge this area. And then need to merge this area. Okay, or this area here. Right, I may need to merge it, but definitely you can see this area I need to fix. Right, so that's what I'm going to do. So you couldn't do that with traditional, could you, mark an area like that? So there you are. That's, again, we've got a good experience with our tiny brush and the density. So take that down, and then I'm going to pick this orange color and just take it, and then pick this gray color. And then we've got that gray color that just goes in between, just takes the choppiness out. And then here we've got a bit of the yellow, but then we have some gray. But we're still at quite high. So I'm gonna increase the brush until I get the right tone for that, yeah. I'm not getting it, so I'm gonna, if you haven't got that, the brown tone that you want, pick a darker color like this, like that's too hard, and then decrease the density. Okay, did you see how we did that? All right, that's one way of doing it. Okay. So you wouldn't think that you could do the river. I had no idea I was going to tackle the river, and it just turns out that I managed to pull it off, I think. I hope you two also pulled it off, right? Right. So let's see what we have here. We've got that streaks of the white. Let's see if we can manage to reproduce that. That streak of white that's happening here. Look what we have here. The streak white. You know, anything to give the illusion there's water, right? That's all you're doing. There's some of that here. Then we have the dark tone. It's a fairly dark tone. It's right here. Okay. And then even darker, I think. That's going to be too dark, I knew it. So I'm going to take it down. You can get away with this dark tone, because that's what we have here. This all about tonal. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, that gives the illusion that there's a reflected area. Now we're going to fix this area here. Now that we've got better at this, right? I'm going to go here, pick the black tone, and see if we can just diffuse that area, right? Now, why is it like that? So maybe we haven't got some of that black that needs to go in there. And then maybe it just looks a bit too, oops, that's actually the wrong color. I meant to pick this nice orange color and just fade this area, that area that looks like little, oops, that's actually, now you see how it changes. Actually looks like it's blended. It's not like a transition, although it is a transition to the sun, but we want to give it a little bit of a smoother transition. And let's see if that's fixed it. Well, now you can see that this can be brought up, this dark area. So just pick the color and then of that darker region and just diffusing that into that paler region, right? Alright, let's have a look. Very nice, isn't it? That almost can be passed off for and can you see anything else that might be here, like here for example? That looks like the eyes are trying to work hard to make us see what we want to see, right? And this is the job of the artist, isn't it? To make us see what we want to see. So that's what we're trying to do, to make people's eyes see what they want to see, which is the ripples and nothing more. So again, I want to take that down and then increase and then pick some colors that I feel would be perfect for that. Look at that, it's so bright, isn't it? So now you know what to do. Take that density and just work at it. Do we have that? Yeah, we have something like that, isn't it? Yeah, we can take some of this. Yes. And then we have this. So I want to make sure that we've got this covered, this black. And then what we have here is actually gone a bit dark. So again, dark. That gives that. If you've watched my previous drawing, the last one that I did of the sunset beach, you will know that you can, if you have a dark background, it's very easy to put some stuff in there because it fools the eyes into thinking otherwise. It's very easy. Okay, so now let's get that, and then I'm sure we have to take that density down. Yep, because such a bold dark color, so I need to take that down. So in line with, oh wow, do you see that here? It's where the big brush did its job. Right, so take that, diffuse that, and then what do we have here? Diffuse that. Do we have anything? See how your tones change? Okay, just enough to give the illusion. Alrighty, I think we're quite done with that. And then I got that streak here, which I'm going to leave actually because time constraint. And now we're going to do the sun and finish off here, right? So let's do the sun now. So a different approach altogether now. So larger brush size. And then we'll pick the colors that are here and then see if I can merge it. Ooh, that's a little too. So I'm just going back and forth. So we get that streak of light there, the yellow, and then just remember to keep oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful orange. Then that beautiful orange, blend that in here, the background, yeah. And then what we have here, we've got that beautiful streak of white going on here, but at the same time we have this kind of the orange that streaks through partially through the sun. Right, but there you see it's like I need to take it down a bit more in terms of size. So again, it's just a question of experimenting. So I need to really take this brush size down compared to what I'm trying to do, yeah? There you can see here. Yeah. Just then here, just trying to replicate what's there. Right, just take it down more. I tell you, the brush size needs to be so tiny for these. Look at that. That's doing well, isn't it? That. So that flows in like that. Right, let's see what we have here. Okay, well, I think you can see where I'm going with this. So here, for example, here, we can definitely uniform this. You know, take it down. I can really unify this area here. No, take it back. Right, and then let's see what we have here. It's a bit better, isn't it? And then on the right side of the sun, what do we have here? It's a bit harder. Again, we need to pick the color and then really take it down. This is where we need to take it down. Look, just remove that there. We managed to remove that. I think we have. Very, very subtle. You've got to really be tuned to this, isn't it? Right. Right, let's see what we have here. Yes, perfect, isn't it? And then it's almost like an asteroid coming out. And then we can say from here, we just want to take that back, take those circular lines, you know, those circular patches that we don't want to show them that, right? And then take this and move that. See how I'm sort of blending it in? Look at the blend size, 3%. That means I'm really tuning my brain into tones, honestly. That's all it means, that I'm seeing the tones in a different light, and you should be happy. There, blended. Okay, there. Let's see what we have here. And now you can see that you can take some of that white, just take that, just right, and then take some of this. Right, take that, come on, move, go away. Okay, almost there. And take some of that white, just play it back here. All right, so what do we got here? All right, I think we should be all right. I can see that we can clean up with some of the blending here, right? Let's just do that. Wow, it's become very attuned now. Honestly, my blending has improved since teaching these live stream courses. A lot more than I was better, much better now, I think. And that's only a few weeks away from what I was doing before. Look at that, the subtleties. It's all in the observation. All in the observation. And then I can take it down. Right, 3%. My goodness, I don't think I've ever used anything at 3%. Okay. Let's see if that's helped, right? Let's have a look. It's definitely added a little bit more to it, isn't it? The river looks great, doesn't it? That river. It could be, to me, it looks like the Blue Danube, isn't it? The famous song where it came from, isn't it? The famous musical. In fact, it is actually the musical that's played in my book that I've written. So the book is called Blue, the Ancient Rock. You might want to check it out. It's on the homepage. You'll see a banner for it. If you like science fiction, you may like this. So let me just finish off. I'm gonna now, obviously, I've got to increase that and get the palette. Look at all these colors we picked, and then get the palette, and then I don't want to make it too. Oops, I need a lighter color, don't I? Wow, been operating with such a small brush. Okay, so oops. Paintology. All right, so oops, that is way too much. What am I doing? Oh, this looks like a blooming bar opening up there, isn't it? We don't want that, do we? So let's take it down more. Just some of the details, because I'm getting so much details now that I have to change my the way I write my thing with Paintology. Okay, you can still see that's Paintology there. Okay, well there you are, just to show you how realism can be created on the phone. And I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and as much as I've enjoyed making this drawing. And then I hope to see, if you want some feedback on your drawing and to see where you're going wrong, you should don't be afraid to put it on community and give me comments. I'll be very happy to look at it and provide you with feedback and tell me where you're struggling and what you're trying to achieve or aim. and I'm very glad to help you. This is all about techniques, all about teaching you the art techniques behind digital, which many other people won't teach you that. They will just show you how to use the tools to achieve this, and it would be very hard to use any set of tools to achieve what I've achieved, right? So I hope this has given you more inspiration to carry on. It's definitely given me more aggro to continue and show you these techniques and bring you these techniques. So please subscribe so I can continue this terrific journey of drawing and how, because I have to say I'm learning a lot as I am showing you these, and I hope you too as well. So see you soon, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.